So let me start off with a question. There are three companies here: Hypothesis, Escape the City, and Double Adventure. So what do these three companies have in common? And because of time, I'll answer that question for you. They're all consumer internet businesses, similar to a lot of people who are sitting in this audience here. They've all used crowdfunding platforms to do venture financing. So Hypothesis did it on Kickstarter in the US. You have Escape the City, which used an equity-based crowdfunding platform in the UK. And you have Double Adventure, which used a reward-based crowdfunding platform in the US as well. Another commonality is that they were all able to meet and beat their expectations in fundraising. So you have amounts of a few $100,000 to actually a few $1 million. And more importantly, what they have in common is that they're all pioneers in the global movement called crowdfunding, which has managed to raise $3.5 billion for people like you. So there's been a lot of buzz around crowdfunding. What I'd like to do is demystify it a bit. So what is crowdfunding? We like to articulate it as simply it's crowdsourcing meets venture financing. The pain that we address is entrepreneurs' access to capital, or lack thereof. How it works? Very simple. There's no magic. You design and launch a campaign, you socialize it, and then you basically do exchange of value. Now, this depends on the platform. If it's an equity-based platform, you give equity in exchange for those financial contributions. If it's a reward-based platform, you give something which is could be your products, it could be your likes. It's non-equity. Now, I talked a bit about a campaign. Again, it's very simple. You have an outcome that you want to reach at the end of your campaign. And this is very tailored to what your business is about. It could be about a new product launch, it could be an upgrade to your website or alpha beta. It might be about getting to a later stage of beta as well. The second thing is you have a fundraise target, and you're able to articulate clearly the dollar amount that you need actually to reach the outcome for your campaign. Third is rewards. Again, if it's an equity-based platform, you're expected to give equity in exchange for the financial contributions from the crowd. If it's a reward-based or crowdfunding platform, it's going to be non-equity. And the duration is typically up to 90 days. So the companies before that I mentioned, they've done their fundraisers between 60 to 90 days. Let's take an example of an actual live crowdfunding campaign. So this is one of our crowdfunding Asian pioneers, Flag Hero. So Ken, where are you? So Ken is actually part of our inaugural batch of crowdfunding campaigns. And each crowdfunding campaign gets a dedicated campaign platform consisting of two elements. One is a pitch platform. Your pitch platform consists of video and also a write-up. And this is a chance for you to talk about your project, why you need financing, and also to share your personal story as well, because personal engagement is very important in crowdfunding. Second thing is you have social channels that you're able to tell your story and distribute it more widely. The third thing is, as you see the other tabs, the updates, the comments, and supporters, it's not only about receiving money, it's not only about that transactional relationship, it's also a chance to actually engage your future customers, have them shape your development, have them shape your ideas. There are two other things which are added to a typical crowdfunding campaign. One is your metrics. By the way, Ken's campaign has made a lot more progress since then. This is bit before. But it talks about how many people are supporting your idea, how much money has come in, how many people are not putting money yet, but are interested in your idea to actually follow it. And then you have your creator info, basically be able to talk about your credentials and your personal story to generate credibility. And lastly, we talk about rewards. We've got a reward section as well. And this is a dedicated platform that you would get to support and execute your crowdfunding campaign. Now, crowdfunding, what is a crowd? This actually depends campaign by campaign and also company by company. But what we try to do is demystify a bit what this crowd looks like. And what we see is basically four segments. One is your family and friends. These are people who actually want to publicize their support of your business. The second is patrons. And patrons are basically your biggest fans with their deepest pockets. Just to add a bit of a story here, one of the earlier campaigners actually raised a few million in terms of crowdfunding, and this was all in exchange for rewards. And CEO of XC.com basically dropped $1 million on top of that, basically because he said, I'm one of your biggest fans, now I'm going to support you further. A lot of the products off the shelf, but actually wanting to get involved early in the process, whether that's development or whether that's just field participation. And the fourth area is community. It's where people like you sitting in this group pay forward to support entrepreneurs like yourself. Now rewards, again, as we talk to people who want to actually list campaigns, there seems to be a lot of mystery around rewards. If it's an equity-based crowdfunding campaign, it's simple. You have the valuation, you get $10, it's a percentage discussion. For reward, basically, you just need to think about a pyramid, right? And at the bottom of the pyramid, you have lower contributions of $10, $20 from the crowd. In exchange, you're giving them virtual goods which have zero cost of production, you're giving them commodities, you're giving them Facebook likes, and so on. Then you have tier 2 rewards where typically the contribution would be around $100. Again, it depends on what your campaign is and what you need. In exchange, you're giving them pre-orders to your product, and so on and so forth. There's much more of a transactional nature with reward exchange here. Then you have tier 1 rewards, which are typically a few $100s to a few $1,000. And this is where things really are about customization, premiumization, and also experiential rewards as well. Now, what is the anatomy of this